Hello, welcome to our special session on yoga and fibromyalgia. So I have a very dear aunt of mine who I was talking to the other day at a birthday party, and she mentioned that she had been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Now, while I was not very familiar with this, I have heard of it. And as I did a little bit of looking, it does appear that yoga can be a positive benefit for those with fibromyalgia. So let's break it down just a little bit about the benefits that you may be able to receive from yoga practice. First off, in yoga, we practice body postures and movement. That is going to help with keeping your muscles nice and loosened up. It's going to assist with your flexibility. It'll also help to reduce some stiffness that you may be feeling. And improved posture is also a good positive benefit. And lastly, it can help to reduce fatigue. Keeping your body moving is always a good thing. And as your body is stiffening up and you may feel those pains of this condition, very gentle movement. We don't want to be harsh on our body. We want to be very gentle, mindful in our movements. If something that you're doing doesn't feel good, then check in on that area of your body and maybe consider modifying or maybe not even doing that particular exercise. So next, another benefit from yoga practice is our breathing techniques. So pranayama is the breathing limb of yoga, and it's essentially very mindful breathing. Instead of just letting our body do the work, we take control of the breath, breathing in mostly through our nose and out through our nose. And as we do that, filling up those lungs and pushing that air out of the lungs. As we work through that process of mindfully breathing in and out, we can see many benefits, including managing our stress. As you start to feel stress, you can take control of the breath and help settle down your feelings of anxiety. Maybe your heart rate might be getting out of whack a little bit. And by taking control of the breath and focusing on the inhales and the exhales, it can help with managing that stress. By taking our breath and controlling our breath, we start to affect our parasympathetic nervous system. Now, you may not have heard that phrase before, but essentially what that is that's the fight or flight feeling that we get sometimes when things are going not our way, when we're starting to get anxious, when maybe things are being a bit of a challenge. We'll start to feel like, oh, I need to get out of here, or I'm feeling aggressive, I need to yell at somebody. And those kind of things, if we can bring it back to our breath, we can help to settle that feeling down a little bit. Again, it's not easy. It's definitely something that you have to practice over and over, but it's a lot easier than yelling or running away all the time. Some of the other benefits of pranayama, it's definitely more oxygen. As you're breathing in deeper, you're bringing more oxygen into your lungs. It's always going to be better for your body. And as you're mindfully pushing the air out of your lungs, you're going to get a lot of that stale air. Sometimes we don't take deep breaths and we don't take deep exhales, and so that air kind of gets trapped in there a little bit. So good deep inhales and good deep exhales will help to expel some of that stale air. Very beneficial. All right, and then the third benefit from practicing yoga would be our meditation practice. So in yoga, we may also start out with a small meditation. In this particular case, we're going to do a body scan meditation, and I find that to be very helpful for checking in on your body to see how it's feeling. A lot of times our body's sending us signals. It's telling us, we've got an ache here, or we've got a soreness there, and sometimes we ignore that. We don't pay that much attention to it. We think, okay, well, that's just always happening. I'm just going to have to live with it. When sometimes if we sat back and mindfully examined the feelings that we're having, we might find that it could be something that could be solved. So we're going to begin. I'm in a chair, and most of the stuff that I'm going to do for this session is going to be chair related. That way it's easy. You can do this in any chair of your house. You can do this in the car. You can do this sitting at your desk in your chair. You could even do this in the bed. If you just roll out of the bed and your feet can touch the floor whenever your feet are off the bed, then you can sit in the bed and do it that way. But we're going to start just with our feet planted. We're sitting up nice and straight. Nice tall spine. Arms are rested on our legs. Begin closing your eyes. And just noticing the breath. Noticing how you're feeling. Notice any thoughts that may be popping up in your mind. No need to grab onto those. Thank them for reminding you, and then just allow them the space that they need. Noticing the inhales as your lungs fill up with air. And as you exhale, how the abdomen begins to lower and the chest begins to fall. Checking in with your shoulders, maybe give them a little shake. And now with our eyes closed, just let go of the breath. The body will take care of that. We're going to take all of our attention up to the top of our head. Now, you can be examining the top of your head from the outside or from the inside. Either way, bringing all of that attention to that area, just notice any sensations that you may be feeling on the top of your head. Maybe an itching, maybe a twitching. Whatever it is, don't respond to it. Just notice it. Make a note of it so that as we go throughout the session, any areas of tension or soreness, that we'll be aware of that when we start our movement. So now just allow your attention to drift down, maybe to your brows, to the eyes, circling around to the side of the head and the ears, the back of the head, continuing to scan down with your attention to your nose, mouth, to the jaw. Noticing if you may be carrying any tension there, you may be gritting your teeth or holding your jaw tense. Just kind of loosen that up, relax that area. Scanning on down the back of our head to our neck, where the head and the neck meet. Continuing to scan down our neck and throat to the shoulders, pausing there for a moment. May notice that there's some tension in our shoulders. I've got a little soreness and stiffness in my right shoulder, probably because of the way I was sleeping. And that's also a good thing whenever we're doing these body scans. We can kind of, oh yeah, that's right. I do remember whenever I was laying down last night, I kind of had this weird feeling in my shoulder. Those things can linger. So we're just going to scan down the shoulders to the arms, observing any sensations we may be feeling as we get to the elbows and the forearms, scanning to the wrists and hands, and finally to the fingers, just noticing how they feel. There may be some soreness or maybe some aching in the fingers. Sometimes that happens. Just notice. Bringing our attention back up to the top of our chest and the shoulder blades area. Continuing to scan down our spine to the rib cage, noticing as it opens up with each breath and closes down with each exhale. Scanning down the spine to the lower back and our abdomen. Then down to the area of our seat where we're sitting. Just notice how supported we feel in the chair. or on the ground or wherever you're sitting. Very stable. Scanning the legs to the knees, down the calves and shins, coming down to the ankles and the heel. If your feet are touching the floor, just notice how they feel, pressing into either the floor or the earth, wherever you're at. Finally scanning the feet and the toes, maybe even giving the toes a little wiggle. Gently begin opening your eyes. So that is what we would call a meditative body scan. And it's just as simple as that. You're going through and you're checking in on each part of your body. You can give it even more detail. Start checking on the inside. How do the lungs feel? How does your heart feel? How does the stomach feel? All of those areas of our body are constantly sending us out signals. And as we check in, it makes it a little bit easier for us to determine maybe what we can do to better benefit ourselves in our situation. So the next thing that we're going to do is just a brief breathing exercise. This is very simple. There's lots of different exercises that you can do for breathing. This is a very simple one that I like to use just to kind of get people started. And this is called a box breathing exercise. So we're going to inhale to the count of 4. Then we're going to hold our breath at the top for the count of 4. And then we're going to gently exhale, pushing that air out for a count of 4. And then at the bottom, after we've gotten to that count of 4, we're going to hold our breath to another count of 4. And then just cycle back through again and again. And we'll do it a few times. So the one thing that most people get a little concerned with is the holding at the bottom. So we've pushed all the air out of our lungs. We're going to then hold our breath, and there's no air in our lungs. And how are we going to do that? Well, for 4 seconds, you're going to be okay. It's not going to cause you too much. And if it does cause you a little bit of discomfort, feel free to breathe in a little bit sooner. This is always an invitation, not an obligation. But if you can, see if you can maintain that held breath with no air in your lungs at the bottom, and then we'll cycle through. So here we go. Might give yourself just a little shake to get settled in. Again, hands can be on the lap, they can be folded. I still prefer to be sitting up rather than laying down or laying back, because sitting up, it helps me keep my attention. And we're not trying to fall asleep here, although you can use meditations to help you sleep better. This particular one, we're just wanting to keep ourselves awake and aware. So I'm sitting up, my feet are nice implanted, arms are on, hands are on my knees, eyes are closing. And don't worry about counting, I'll do the counting. So again, 4 counts on the inhale, 4 counts on the hold, 4 counts on the exhale, and 4 counts on the hold. And we'll do this through a few times. And we'll begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, big inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. One more cleansing breath, big inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Excellent. How's that feel? Okay, hopefully that was beneficial. Hopefully you feel a little bit more invigorated from gathering in a little bit more oxygen maybe and holding on to it. So the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to do some movement. Again, I am in a chair. This is stuff that you can do in a chair, or you can do seated on the mat or on the floor. You can do it cross-legged. What we're going to do is a seated cow and cat. Now, cow and cat is a good way to wake up our spine. Now, I have a dual camera going on here so that you can see from the side and from the front. So whenever I'm doing the movements, hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit from the side and it'll make a little bit more sense. So, hands on our knees again, feet firmly planted. We're sitting up nice and tall, back is straight, head on the top of our spine, sitting up nice and straight, tall. So I'm going to inhale and I'm going to look up and bring my chest forward. This is our cat posture from a seated position. Nice little arch to our back, bringing that chest forward. And then I'm going to exhale, bringing my chin to my chest and then doming my chest back. Now, it's just slight movement is all we're looking for to start. I may be moving a little bit more than feels comfortable for you, and that's perfectly fine. Let's try another inhale, bringing our chest forward, looking up to the ceiling, or as high as is comfortable. Again, no pain is what we're not looking for pain here, we're just looking for movement. And then as we exhale, chin to chest, arching the back, nice little dome to the chest. Inhale up, exhale back. We'll do this 2 more times. This is a great way to wake up in the morning, get some small movements to our spine, get ready for the day. And last one, exhaling chin to chest. Great. All right. Well done. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, again, feet are planted. We're going to inhale, bringing our arms all the way up. And we're going to do what's called cactus or goalpost arms. So as we exhale, we're going to bend the elbows and just bring them out to the side. Now, from the side, as you can see, I'm taking the arms back as well, so I get an opening to my chest. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I've got a little soreness in my shoulder, so I don't want to go too back. I go to that spot, that feels a little bit tense, so I'm going to pause right there. And then inhale, we're going to go back up. And then exhale, we're just going to come forward. Again, as far as is comfortable, letting the arms hang, maybe giving them a little shake. Inhaling back up, arms overhead. Exhale, goalpost or cactus arms. Opening that chest up. Up. Fold forward. Let that head hang heavy, giving it a shake, maybe yes or no. Inhaling up. Exhaling cactus or goalpost arms. We're going to do this 2 more times. Again, at your own pace, or you can follow along. Inhaling up. Exhaling, fold forward. Letting your chest rest on your legs if that is comfortable. Letting your hands touch the mat or the floor if that's comfortable. If not, if you're floating, that's good too. Inhaling back up, arms overhead. Exhaling cactus arms. Inhaling up, last one. Nice forward fold. Maybe checking in on the feet while we're down there, if you can reach them. See how those toes are doing. Check on the calves, knees, and then gently bringing it back up, arms up overhead, and bringing them down. Excellent. All right, the last thing that we're going to do movement-wise here in our chair is an upper body twist. So again, we're going to inhale, bringing our arms up, and then as we exhale, we're just going to go over to the side. Now I'm going to bring my hands all the way down to the chair. If that's uncomfortable for you, just bring them down however is comfortable. And then we're going to inhale back forward and up, exhaling to the other side. Again, so this is getting a nice stretch along our shoulder. It's getting a nice twist to our upper body. Inhale back up. We'll do this 2 more times each side. Exhale to this side. And you can also take your neck over the shoulder, taking a glance over that shoulder as well, if that feels good. Inhale back up. Exhale to the side. Again, looking over that shoulder to get a nice little stretch to our neck. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Excellent. Inhale up, bringing our hands together into heart center. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've learned a little bit. I hope maybe some of this is going to help you in the future with whatever your body issues and ailments may be. Particularly, I would say do something like this in the morning when you first wake up. Set the phone aside. Don't worry about checking on your emails. Give this a go first. And then maybe before you go to bed, try that again and see how that, see if it helps you throughout your day and helps you with your sleep. This has been Michael at Third Eye Mind. If you'd like to check out any of our sessions here in Rowlett, Texas, feel free to go to 3rdi.space and you can see our schedule there. We are on Instagram and Facebook also at 3rdi.space. And if there's anything about this video that you liked, feel free to click the like button. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click the subscribe. And if you think anybody else might benefit from anything in this video, please share. Thank you very much. The light in me sees and honors the mighty light in you, my friends. Go forth and shine your light into this world. Namaste. Thank you. See you next time.